Good morning. It's just around about 7 a.m. I had planned to take my time this morning and make my way to my mooring spot. Late morning I was going to leave, but then I started looking at the weather forecast, and the weather says it's going to get a bit windy around about 12 o'clock, something like that, so I'd rather be in my spot by then if I can make it. So I'm just starting to prep the boat, ready to leave in about half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm just dropping my solar panels so I can get through the bridges and the tunnel, go through Braunston Tunnel today. I'll just show you my route once I get back inside. I'm about to show you the route that I'm going to take to my mooring. More of that in a moment. I'm going to be using the Nicholson guide. It's a bit like a Bible for narrowboaters in the UK. Shows incredible detail where things are, what you can do, local sites. As you can see, plenty of information. Tells you where water points are, where you can dump your rubbish, where the marinas are. This is where I was actually moored in Calcutta Marina, just about there. I made my way down the canal, and I am currently moored just about there, and I'm going to be making my way today up off the map. I'll show you on the next map, to Braunston Turn. This is Braunston Turn just here. It's got a very famous dual iron bridge, which you may have seen in past videos that I've made. I'm going to try and stop around about here, providing there is a water tap there, even though it's got a symbol for water. On another route planner that I've got, it actually says it's at the top lock of the Braunston flight, so I'm not sure. I'll have to find it. Failing that, there are two other points where I can fill up with water. I don't need to, so I've actually got about half a tank. I'll just do it while I can. As you can see there, going to be moving into Braunston Tunnel, just over 2,000 yards long, and it is a bit wiggly. I'll show you my lighting setup so I can get through there, and we come out the other side, make my way there, and then come to a very famous Norton Junction, possibly one of the most photographed corners on the canal network. It's got a beautiful willow tree there. I make my way up there, again up to the top of the map, and here we are on to book number 3, and there's Norton Junction again. I'm going to make my way up the canal at my leisure until I get to point, see if I can get my pencil in there. I'm going to try and moor around about there, which is right next to the M1, but I'd like to try and moor there because that is actually, you can see Watford Gap service station there. That was actually where I was stopped when I got the sad news of my father. The next morning I'll be moving on. You can see those sort of arrows there. They indicate locks, and there's 7 locks to go through at the Watford flight. And I'll make my way up the canal again into another tunnel, Crick Tunnel this time, a little bit shorter, 1500 plus yards, and immediately after that is Crick Marina, where I'll be trying to moor, try and find my mooring. I think it's time to finish prepping the boat. As you may be able to see just out there, the wind's starting to pick up even now, and it's only what, 7:30, 7:45, so get my skates on, get going, and see if I can find that water tap. I just wanted to quickly tell you a little bit about my lighting setup that I've got for going through Braunston Tunnel. That's the first one, do Crick tomorrow. As I showed you in a previous video, I do have a tunnel light. It's that one there. Or is it that one? No, it's that one there, sorry. That one there is just like a porch light. That's my tunnel light, and it does work. And I also have, for going through the tunnel, I found previous times I went in there, it was really helpful if I could get a light that would light up the sides of the tunnel, the wall tunnel, so that I could see the edge, hence guide my boat better. In amongst my little garden, I've got this little beauty. It's actually a floodlight, and I point that up slightly to the roof. Notice it's below the bows so that it doesn't blind the boat coming the other way, and that literally just floods out and lights the sides of the tunnel. Really, really helpful. And just an aside, you can see my potatoes are growing incredibly well. I'm just hidden amongst it in the back there. I wasn't sure what that was before. It's actually called chervil. It's related to parsley. Now all those lights that I've just shown you, I will put them on literally just before I go in the tunnel. The boat is pretty much prepped. I've got all the bits off the roof down a bit lower. Chimney's down, solar panels are down, my security camera is down just because it sticks up a little bit. Next thing I've got to do is to start the engine to warm that up. Do my engine checks first. The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed I've got an extra jumper on. It's a lot cooler than it looks. It's just that wind blowing now and it's tending to go through. Right, let's start the engine. Yeah, there you go. I remembered to get them out before we actually set off. Right, so the engine been going for a little while. Right, we're ready to go in gear. As I said, a little bit windy. It's not too bad at the moment. Slightly behind me at the moment, so it's not too bad. As I said, not in too much of a rush today. Just want to try and get there for lunchtime. It's what, 8:30 now, so plenty of time. I've only got about 5 miles or so to go. Just going under bridge 102, just a little way down from where I was moored. I was actually moored back there for going on 3 weeks. Now I can just hear boaters saying, well, you shouldn't be moored there for more than 2 weeks. Well, that's absolutely right. However, if you actually ask the CRT's permission to stay longer, if you've got a good reason, like I did, you can actually stay there for some extra time. All I had to do was to let them know that I'd had a bereavement in the family, my father, and they very, very quickly came back and said, yes, that's absolutely fine. They gave me a date when I needed to be gone by, which is still about 3 or 4 days away. But as you know, I'm on my way to Crick, so I've left that mooring. You know, I've just realised, because I've known it all along, or at least for the last year since I've got the boat, that this is really my happy place. It's been a long time coming. I've needed this for many, many years now. I finally found it. Just being on the boat makes me happy. Cruising along like this, for me, there's nothing else like it. I'm not even going as fast as I can go. I'm only allowed to do about 4 miles an hour, but I'm probably doing about 2 at the moment. I've seen one boat go past just as I was setting off. The rest have just been moored up. Today's going to be a bit of a transition day for weather. You can see it's a little bit cloudy behind me. Sun's trying to break through up over there. Temperature is going to be, they reckon, about 18 degrees thereabouts, which is fairly normal for this time of year in this country. Relatively warm. I appreciate other parts of the world will be a heck of a lot warmer. And for at least the next week, maybe 10 days, the UK is going to be in, for UK terms, is going to be in a sort of a mini heat wave. Temperature is going to be 25 plus centigrade. Very pleasant and pretty much sunny most of the time. Perfect for the boat show. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, I think I will knock it up just a little bit. And of course, as soon as I do that, there's a boat around the corner, so I'll have to slow down. Birds are really out in force today. One above me as we come up to this bridge that's got to be 100 feet in the air. It's just stationary up there, hovering, making a hell of a racket. We get a pigeon go through. Alright, no boats coming, so I'll go through the bridge. Bridge 101. There seems to be a gate on the left side, so I'm wondering if you can actually park above at this bridge. One to note for the future if I need to stop. Always on the lookout for bridge hopping. Yeah, it looks like it does go up to that bridge there. It's just whether there's parking. Absolutely amazing sound. I love it.
The boat's 1935, the engine's 1936.
Wow.
I didn't quite bite you, it feels like it some days.
Yeah.
I'm off to Crick Show and cut the stop.
I'll see you there. I'm on my way myself.
Oh, yeah, in a few minutes.
All right. Cheers. As you just saw there, amazing old boat there. I don't know if you heard what he was saying. Might try and chase him up and have a proper chat with him later on, because he's on his way to Crick. This boat's from 1936, that era. So that's what, 89 years ago? 90 this year? Wow. And it's still going strong. Used to be an old carrier, as you can tell from the canvas sides. And just coming up to bridge 100. Doesn't look like it's used an awful lot. It might have been hit a few times by boats. There's quite a few vintage boats out today. I'm looking forward to seeing some of them. There's one just gone past back there. Of course, there's going to be plenty of vintage boats on exhibit at the show, and the one I passed earlier. I'm going to see if I can find him and have a good chat so he can tell me a bit more about the boat. I'd love to find out more. Hopefully you do too. I'm at Bridge 99. Here we have, just on my right, so something called a winding hole. That's where boats can turn around. This looks like quite a decent one. So long boats will be able to turn. And the sky's starting to make it blue. The sun's trying to break through the clouds. As you can see, there's a little bit of sun on me. Might have to put my hat on soon. I'm going to speed up a little bit because that vintage boat is behind me. Seems to be catching. I know I'm in a little bit of shade now, but good time to put the hat on. Just coming up to Bridge 98 and a boat coming the other way, so I'll keep to my right. I just come out to Bridge 97 and some sheep in the field to my right. However, as I was coming up, I saw some sheep actually running along the towpath, or the off towpath I should say. So I suspect there's a gap in the fence somewhere and they got through. Don't seem to be there right now. That's Bridge 97. As I go past these boats on the side and tick over, I'll see in the distance some CRT workers, I believe, doing something with the towpath. Find out when I get there, I guess. This is the work they're doing, shoring up the canal bank with, it's like sandbags and a bit of extra on top. I didn't want to film the guys close up because I don't think that was fair, but they're doing an amazing job by shoring up the canal bank so we don't get a breach. Because just down there is quite a drop down into a field, so it's good to see. And now that I think about it, actually it looks like they put in the sandbags, or I'm assuming it's sand inside or cement, and then there's like a soil on top, and that actually looks a bit like they're dredging the canal and then placing that on top of the bags. It's a win-win. And we're just going under Bridge 95 to shore of Braunston. Oh, it's a bit hairy. Just tapping the sides gently. Going left takes you to Coventry, apparently. Not that I want to go there just yet. These bridges were made by Horsley Ironworks. We're just going past a famous pub on the canal system, the Boathouse. Doubt very much it's open at this time of day, although there are some lights on inside. It is 10:15 in the morning. Alright, I'm just going to see if I can top up with some water here. First time I've done it on the towpath, so let's see how I get on. Some of them have got locks on, this one doesn't appear to, which is quite handy. There's also an L-SAN, which I don't really need at this stage. Right, so I'm now filling up my water tank. As I said earlier, don't really need it. I've got half a tank, which is plenty for the show, but top up while I can. It's fairly low pressure hose, so it's going to take a while, but it's canal time. I'm in no rush. Right, I finished filling up with water. Didn't quite get to the full tank. There's nice people behind me who had pulled up waiting to use it, so I don't use a lot of water, so I thought I would just move off. On my way now to Braunston Locks. There's 6 of them, I believe. Hopefully I'll be able to go up with another boat, because they're wide locks. Then half a mile or 3/4 of a mile after that, I'm hoping to find a mooring spot where I've moored before. Unless somebody's grabbed it already, because there's been quite a few boats heading towards Crick today already. Probably a dozen boats have gone past me. I'm just coming up to the first lock, having to wait, which is fine of course. 2 boats have just gone in. I'll be first in to the next, and there's a boat behind me, so we'll go up as a pair. Right, that's the first lock at Braunston completed. Bit of a palaver. There's nowhere to actually stop the boat, so you could get off and do the locks. But thankfully, we had CRT volunteers to do it for us, which is really fantastic. They do a great job, they do. So they do it all for nothing, just for exercise. The wind's got me a little bit. Can I make it? Yes! Well, I would have done more filming, but my phone battery went flat. And I was just about to go into Braunston Tunnel, which I've done now. Thankfully no boats coming the other way. I miscounted the locks. I thought I had one more to go before I went in the tunnel, so it was a bit of a surprise. So I had to stop, put my lights on, and got through okay. And I'm on my way to, where is it, Norton Junction? Yeah, Norton Junction, where I'll turn left. Just going through Bridge 7 at the moment. The wind's starting to pick up, but not too far, maybe a mile away from where I want to stop. We're just coming up to Bridge 8. We've got 9 and 10 to go, and then I turn left at Norton Junction. go up a few wiggly bits and then more up, hopefully in my preferred spot on the right. Fields to my left. The yellow flowers are, I believe, rapeseed, which makes rapeseed oil. And in the distance we've got wind turbines. Doing very well in this wind today. And we're coming up to Bridge 10, Norton Junction. It's a blind turn to the left. Reluctant to use my horn. So there's a house literally on the corner, which is what makes it so pretty. Hopefully I won't make a mess of it like I did last time. The wind is blowing in much the same direction. Yes, the wind got me. Should be able to recover. Just coming around nicely. Oh, there's a pretty house on the corner there for sale. And it's not this one. Hopefully I've caught a shot of that, but I need to concentrate on driving the boat as well. We're now entering the Leicester branch of the Grand Union Canal. The wind is really picking up now. I only just avoided crashing into a boat by about 6 inches. I could just see the people inside the boat cringing. Thankfully I missed them. Although it made me crash into the side. The wind is getting quite strong now. I'm to crab the boat. If I just swing the camera around, you can see what I mean. I'm trying to go in a straight line here. As you can see, I'm pointing to the left. So the boat goes straight, roughly, or sideways. This is number 5 Watling Street Bridge. And just after it, there is a winding hole. Rather confusingly, this sign says it's 17-metre limit. Most boats in this country are measured in feet. My boat is 58 foot long, which is about 17 metres. Oh well. It's a good job I'm bilingual, isn't it? Right, this road or bridge that's coming up has got a road on it. It's called the A5, and they very kindly built it on top of a Roman road and just put tarmac all over it rather than preserving it. It does, however, mean that the A5 is a dead straight road. As I'm sure you're aware, Romans built roads, many of them, and they were straight from A to B. here on my left is the winding hole. Looks like it's a little bit overgrown. I think I'd struggle a little bit to get my boat turned around. I think I could do it. Depends how shallow that is just there. And a train. Now we're going to that bridge where the train was, and not too far after that, I'm hoping that is the mooring spot that I want, is free. I'll tell you why I'm sort of fixated on getting this particular spot when we get there. I really need to go to this place one day. It does look really nice. Well, there goes my plan. See how that light blue boat is? That's exactly where I wanted to moor. Sadly I cannot, because there's only space for one boat. I'll just have to carry on. Hopefully there's one round the corner. And there is my lovely boat moored. I've just walked up to the locks to see the lock keepers, and they tell me that they start again in about 8 o'clock in the morning roughly. Just thought I'd show you a few things here and explain why I wanted that mooring spot from before. This is the Watford Locks pumping station, where they need to move water around the network. And this, I think, is brilliant. I'm not sure if you can read that. There's some blue tits nesting inside the water point, so obviously we shouldn't disturb them. There's more water points further at the top of the locks, so not too bad. Now, the reason I wanted that mooring spot, you can just see the M1 over there, traffic thundering past 70 miles an hour. Well, when I found out about my dad passing away last week, literally 7 days ago, I got a message to stop so that I could talk to someone on the phone, so I pulled in at the service station, which is just across there, and that's when I actually found out the sad news. I just wanted to be near that spot, because literally from that original mooring spot I would have been maybe 100 yards away from the spot where I found out. This is the first lock of a flight of 7, which I'll be doing in the morning. Built in 1902. That bridge was, anyway. Pretty sure the locks have been here a bit longer than that. And what we have to do, we're not allowed to operate them on our own. The gates are actually locked overnight so that people can't go through on their own. And it's purely a safety measure because of the way the locks work in the staircase lock. It is potentially very, very dangerous if you don't open the paddles in the correct order. I do not know what the correct order is, but I know if you open the red ones first, the rhyme goes, you're dead. In other words, you can sink your boat. One thing I've not explained before, there's certain points along the waterways where you've got things that are locked up, like water points can be locked up, lock gates can be locked up, and things like this, which is a little box where it's a guide to the Leicester line, and we all get a special key, like this one. Every boat has got one, and it is supposed to open these locks, and there you go, it works. All the British Waterways key. Let's see what we've got in here. There you go, guide on the canal and some other information. Welcome to the Leicester line. that's me done for the day. I'm moored up, got my information about tomorrow morning. I'll be ready to go for 8 AM, so I'll be up nice and early. With a bit of luck, I'll be first one through the locks. The very kind lady who gave me the information has taken the boat's name. So I'll say good night for now, and I'll see you in the morning. Remember I said that blue boat was parked in the spot that I wanted? Well, I'll just settle down for the night. Hopefully you can see them. They've just gone past me, and they're going up the flight of locks. So I could have parked there or moored there if they'd left half an hour earlier.